Here are the 7 best ways to monetize your social media audience here in 2023 and probably at least for the next decade. Now, if you don't know me, my name is Jacob. I've been an entrepreneur here for about a year, but I've been doing business in social media for about 10 years or so. So I know what I'm talking about for the most part. If you do not agree with everything I say, though, please leave a comment down below on something you suggest to grow or monetize your own social media. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead to dive right into it. Number 1 is sponsors and ads. Now, when it comes to sponsors and ads, these are typically for like the top of the top creators, because if you are getting a sponsor or an ad, something like that, on a lower level, like let's just say you have like 10,000 followers on Instagram or YouTube or something, yeah, you're probably making some money, but like you're not making enough to live by any means, more than likely. Like, for example, like the fitness community is a very easy example. The fitness community, if you're not familiar with it, some people will get sponsored by like a supplement, like a pre-workout or a protein powder. But those sponsors and everything is like, hey, like we'll give you $100 a month for you to post something, and then we'll give you like a 10% discount code. Like, it's not really pleasable. Now, what people are really making money off of is something like, Mr. Beast, when he talks about, I believe he talks about Square or what is it? Shopify. He talks about Shopify. I bet Shopify is giving him loads of money. That's what I bet. So when it comes to sponsors and ads, I wanted to get too caught up with it if you are early on creator of any industry, anything at all. So please don't get into please don't get over your head like, oh, I need to make ads or I need to get sponsors, blah, blah, blah. Focus on getting your followers up first, and then you can focus on sponsors and ads. Because if you're trying to automatically like find ways to sell your audience, besides something of your own product, like it's probably not going to last long. It's probably not going to last long. More than likely, or it's just going to be tougher. That's what I'm trying to say. Then number 2 big thing to do is digital products. Now, if you are familiar with the educational space on social media, you definitely know what I'm talking about. But if you are new or don't know what I'm talking about, most educational spaces on the internet, particularly like we can look into, like I guess you can call it internet money, and you have like stuff like drop shipping or something like that. People will sell drop shipping courses for anywhere from like $100 to $2,000 or even more to teach people how to make money. And some people might be like, oh, that's a pyramid scheme. Other people are like, no, that's genuine education. Like if you think about like colleges the same way, that's what they're saying. So it's really, it's a huge market. That's what I'm trying to say though. Like there's plenty of stuff to look into there. So I mean, like that's the easy way to get educated too, by the way, if you're trying to find a way to get educated, rather than have to go pay tens of thousands of dollars to a university, if you're here in the US at least. Now, number 3 is physical products. Now, this is just like digital products, but it's just a physical version. There's really not much difference. It's just that when it comes to physical products, there seems to be a lot more logistics. Digital products are like the margin is basically 100%, because like once you make a course or an ebook or something, it's essentially like zero work after that. It's just like, hey, like buy this course, and you're just selling someone like a file name. That's about it. So you're not really like, it's not really too much work. It's a huge profit for that. Physical products are different. Margins are significantly lower. I mean, I've seen some pretty bad margins, but they are great for actually getting your brand out there, because when people buy a physical product, they're more than likely going to be using it in public where people are going to be seeing it and asking about it. For example, Logan Paul uses or partnered with the Prime Sports energy drink, or the sports drink. I know they have an energy drink as well. But this is a great example. Logan Paul partnered with, and I think KSI too, partnered with Prime to sell this product. And you can look at other things too. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson had his own tequila brand. The Kardashians had all their makeup stuff. And I mean, the examples go on like forever. Mr. Beast, again. Mr. Beast has his own burger place. So, I mean, it's a good way to get into it. Now, the 4th way is for services. Services are a great way to get into this, just because it's something where you're actually kind of contributing towards the economy. Again, I mean, all these are contributing towards the economy, but services is another way. But it's just a lot more B2B, so it feels a little bit more, I guess, contributing to the economy. But there's plenty of ways to do this. Even just software as a service, which honestly could probably be its own thing on here, because it's a huge industry, but the only reason I put it underneath servicing is just because it's just for categorical sake. But there's another thing there with like consulting and coaching and just stuff like that. Like you could really break it down to simple stuff like piano coaching. Like there's sites online where you could get piano coaching for like $20 an hour, and it's such a great way to, find someone that can work with you at the same exact time, everything, and just get coaching. And there's money there. So if you're somebody that knows how to play guitar or knows how to play piano and like just wants to make a quick buck outside of your 9 to 5 or outside of like your normal whatever you're doing, I mean, having some services online is such an easy way to do it. Of course, digital products is a good way to do it as well, just because it's you don't have to worry about any logistics, and once you put it up and that's it. But there typically is a lot more advertising when it comes to digital products. Services typically advertise itself through you just kind of presenting what you do on social media, just because you're constantly changing what you're doing, or not constantly changing what you're doing, but the service itself is just so broad. So you're really talking about it for a different person's different perspective for every single situation. Digital product, on the other hand, or a physical product, is really just one thing, and you can only talk about one thing so much. Number 5 is event access. Now, this is something that's changing a lot when it comes to the digital world and everything. When it comes to most things, event access typically means like stadiums, like when you go to a concert or you go to a sports event. When you go to those things, that's an event access. Like you're not really buying a product. I guess you can say you're kind of buying a service. You're buying an entertainment service, but it's not really like a service. Like you're just going to be entertained. Like you're going to an event. Like you're buying access to something. And the same thing happens here. Like, but on the internet, it's like, oh, I get access to a webinar, or I get access to something. Like it's just typically like a live event in some cases. So that's another great way to do this. So if you're somebody that has a coaching business, or like you're just a big influencer or something like Twitch, I mean, essentially this is event access is almost like OnlyFans in a way, where you're just kind of giving people access to a broader set of paid content. So that's another great way to get about it. Now, number 6 is affiliate marketing. Number 6 is affiliate marketing. So if you're using anything right now to like shoot your videos, to make your content, to make your product or anything, you could probably put a link down below on any YouTube video or any Instagram post or any blog, any type of media you push out. You probably put a link or some type of like affiliate code next to it. So when people are using, like for example, I could probably do this right now. I probably should be doing it. I'm shooting on a Canon, and I could probably link this Canon camera as an Amazon affiliate link underneath this video, and I can make money whenever somebody buys it. I should be doing it just because I could be making a little bit more money. I'm probably gonna do that after this, honestly. But no, it's an easy way to make some slow money. I wouldn't personally rely too much on this unless you're planning on solely getting into the affiliate marketing game. Because if you're trying to get solely into the affiliate marketing game, that's a completely different game. Like that's when you have to like just be doing hella ads, and really just be talking about products. That's about it. So that's a big challenge. But yeah, I mean, Amazon's the biggest one for that. There's plenty of other ones. I've been partnered with Fanatics, and I forgot what their thing was. But through one of my old brands, I was partnered with Fanatics. I think I still am, but I mean, it's slow money. I wouldn't expect anything out of it like too much. Like again, this is something for when you're really growing your audience, so don't worry about it. And number seven, this is the most like OG way to make money on the internet, and it's Patreon. Now, there's plenty of other things like close to Patreon, but Patreon is just kind of the easy name for, just what the technology is. And essentially, if you're not familiar what it is just a website where you can basically become part, or you just donate. You just donate to the person making the content or making the business or whatever like that. Or you can become like a member status in some way where it's like, hey, like if you want to become a bronze member, it's $1 a month, and you just basically just pay this person $1 a month to continue doing business. You're just supporting them monetarily without any type of product or service in return. You're just doing it out of support. That's what it really is. And of course, you might get like some type of feedback or some type of event access or some type of like return in that. But most people just do it just to raise money. So, that's just a really OG way to do it. So, yeah, you can't really go wrong. So, for depending on what your business is, it really doesn't really matter which one you do. Like you can't do all of them. If you're trying to do all of them when you're first starting, you're doing too much. Like what I would do if I was starting brand new in any business is I would just focus on, first of all, my business. Like make sure your business is good. Secondly, I would start documenting and like showing your journey and showcasing your personal brand or your business's brand on social media to gain more clients by like just showing your face, showing your product out there just to get visible. Like it doesn't need to be like super like sales driven yet. Just make sure it's there. So that's one business. 2, just have a social media presence. 3 is when you actually start pushing social media. And then 4 is when you actually start like playing around with these monetizational ideas. Okay. And 5 is when you actually get to do all of them, but that's like Mr. Beast level, like when you have like hundreds of thousands or millions of followers. So I wouldn't really get into it too much yet if you're starting out early. So hopefully that helped you guys. There's a lot to this. So if you're like wanting a specific strategy on how to monetize, please let me know down below and I'll make a whole video on it because that'd be pretty fun. So, I mean, I can give you a quick way on how I do it. Very, very brief. What I do right now is I do basically just services. I just do services. And eventually I'll get, like I said, into affiliate marketing and maybe even Patreon and event access and stuff like that. But right now I'm just focusing on services and eventually digital products too. So that's all I'm worried about right now. So hopefully that helped a couple of y'all right there. Just that quick little update. But yeah, if you really want someone to kind of like help you through that, go ahead and comment that down below or follow me on Instagram and we can link up there. Other than that, if you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you next week. See ya.